AIG, there are not a few who believe that the pace at which the Interpol International and Interpol Nigeria are working is quite interesting. They point to the fact that Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the proscribed group, IPOB, it didn't take long for them to grab him from the same Kenya and get him down to Nigeria, and he's facing justice now. That's why is this like a case of we're following process, diplomatic channels, etc., etc.
Believe you me, I want to tell you I don't know what you are talking about. All I know...
You seem not to know exactly what we are talking about here.
No. You are bringing an issue that Interpol is not aware of. You know, let me define the role of Interpol so that you can understand. Interpol is an international police organization that assists law enforcement agencies within the 196 countries to look for a fugitive that runs or is hiding. And if you look at all the other fugitives that are brought to face justice in Nigeria, they have the link, those who are involved with Interpol. So I don't know I don't want to talk about issue of Kanu, who brought him back to Nigeria. I'm not aware how he was brought back to Nigeria or how he came into Nigeria. Interpol is not aware. We stated this long time ago, and we made it categorically clear. So it's not a question. There are what we call police-to-police relationship, international police cooperation. Another police, it does not necessarily bring Interpol. If one police and another exchange a suspect is running from them, they can have an international police cooperation that out of the scope of Interpol. But however, if a notice is given to an individual, like blue notices, when the inmates in Kuje prison escaped, we did a biometric capture of those suspects, and we shared it with international communities. We shared it with our law enforcement agencies. Many of them were re-apprehended because we have their biometrics. Now, in the issue of red notice, where a red notice is issued under the federal court that issued that notice of arrest, that is warrant of arrest for such international, it will go to the Interpol, we'll process it, we'll look at it, we'll look at the charges, and then we'll issue a red notice. On that red notice, we bring back the culprit to face justice because all the 196 countries will be looking for that individual.
We'd sincerely like to thank you, retired Assistant Inspector General of Police, Garba Umar, who is currently the Vice President of Interpol Africa Region. Thank you, sir, for coming on the news.
Nnamdi Kanu was abducted in Kenya and forcibly brought back to Nigeria in June 2021 without being lawfully extradited to face terrorism, etc. charges. He and his co-defendants had pleaded not guilty to a 4-count charge, and Kanu was granted bail on April 25, 2017. Before he jumped bail and ran for dear life in September 2017. We saw that the system of extraordinary rendition, which simply means abduction, that failed when Major General Buhari's military regime attempted to abduct Alhaji Umaru Dikko from London and repatriate him to Nigeria in 1984, was finally perfected. In Kanu's case, the process of extradition should have been followed, since Section 2, Subsection 1 of the Extradition Act 1967 EA makes the process of extradition binding on all Commonwealth countries including Nigeria, Kenya and UK. Kanu is also a British citizen and was travelling on a British passport. The 3 countries are also members of Interpol, the International Criminal Police Organization. By law, the 3 governments should have been involved in Kanu's extradition process, but the British were unaware, while the Kenyans feigned ignorance of his arrest, claiming no involvement in it. And the truth is that even when the world became aware of Kanu's illegal arrest, The British and Kenyan governments didn't seem particularly concerned, nor did they seem to take umbrage at his extraordinary rendition. The point must, however, be made that Nnamdi Kanu didn't just wake up and decide to jump bail. He ran to save his life when the military descended on his country home, which resulted in some deaths. Immediately upon his return, Kanu's 2015 case at the Federal High Court Abuja Division before Justice Binta Nyako resumed, and in April 2022, the trial court retained 7 counts of an amended charge against him. On appeal to the Court of Appeal and the lead judgment delivered by Oludotun Adefopokoji JCA, the charges retained by the trial court were terminated and struck out. The judgment of the trial court was set aside, and Kanu was discharged. This decision was based upon the illegal way and manner in which Kanu ended up in Nigeria. Kanu was, however, not acquitted, meaning that he had not been set free from the charges of his alleged offenses by a verdict of the court. The case had not been heard on its merits. The matter was akin to being struck out. A further appeal was filed to the Supreme Court, and the Apex Court set aside the judgment of the Court of Appeal and ordered that Nnamdi Kanu's trial at the Federal High Court be resumed. As at today, based on the last court sitting on the 17th of April, the legal team of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has vowed not to move on with the trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu unless he is moved out of DSS custody to prison facility, granted bail, or placed on house arrest. Justice Binta Nyako has slated 20th of May next month for ruling on this matter. Stay tuned and have a blessed day, and never forget to pray for our great leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
Amuna gibili ben Kanu bamani changwa Chineke nyelo mudafa godo zobodani Kamuna gibili ben Nnamdi Kanu bamani changwa Chineke nyelo mudafa godo zobodani Kamuna gibili ben Nnamdi Kanu bamani changwa Chineke nyelo mudafa godo zobodani Kamuna gibili ben Uponu ya